I'm super excited for today's video. I got a new shelf, so I thought it would be fun to do a bookshelf organization, kind of. I love watching these types of videos. I love getting a peek on what is on people's shelves. I thought maybe since it brings me so much happiness and joy, maybe it might help give you a little bit of a serotonin boost. First, I'm going to take you over to organizing Star. So yeah, this is the new shelf. It was really hard to build, but it's there. Oh my god. And then when you pan over, books everywhere, so many books, and that's my TBR cart. It's double stacked. Okay, in this chair, I have to record over this because I don't know what I was saying. I was just saying a bunch of nonsense. But basically, I got this book at the Ren Fair. I haven't read it yet, but the author was really nice and she signed it, so I got it. And then the rest of my Zodiac Academy books, I'm going to put them on this shelf that looks extremely dusty, but I promise I dust it. It's just really dusty here, okay? I live in the desert. There's some really poorly filmed book ASMR. Okay, so these are my two main shelves, and I have a problem. They are full. So my plan is to move my manga and I think my nonfiction over to the new shelf. So I'm just gonna move them over here and hope that that works. Okay, these are my original Rurouni Kenshin manga that I bought. I read most of them from the library, but they never got the last few in, so I just fit them in this gap. That was so satisfying. And then I have Rurouni Kenshin Purin, and up here Sailor Moon, other girl from the other side, other manga. So those fit. And then here, this gap where my manga was, I'm just going to put all of my Stephen King books because I have so many and I feel like he deserves his own shelf because he's one of my favorite authors. Okay, literally this video is so messy. I was trying to do one of those like satisfying videos where you slide in each book of a series, and this was the Dark Tower series, and I realized it was out of order half the time and then they kept falling over and I just got really annoyed and I gave up trying to film me shelving my books, and I'm just gonna take you to the bookshelf tour now because the rest of this is just a freaking disaster. Like, the footage isn't even worth it. Oh, yeah. It is done. I am so happy. I think this turned out so good. So I thought maybe we could do a little itty bitty tour. We're just gonna start with this one. Up here we have like all of my translated books like Haruki Murakami, Water Moon. I love that book. Then we have Boopy, and I use these little ghosts as book stoppers. The next shelf we have my Sailor Moon Eternal Editions, The Girl from the Other Side, and just some random books here to help fill up the space. The next row we have a little figurine and a Kenshin figurine, and then we have my Rurouni Kenshin omnibuses. This anime is what got me into the anime fandom, I guess, and it's what really made me fall in love with writing because I used to write Rurouni Kenshin fanfiction. I just love it so much. Furin is a lot newer, but I have a lot of love for Furin. I love it as much as I do Rurouni Kenshin. So, and then down here, I have the Fruits Basket omnibuses because this was another one that is my favorite manga, and this one is my original Fruits Basket. The rest of them I actually checked out from my school library. Imadoki, wow, they are not in order. I don't know why they're ordered like that, but this is Imadoki. This was the first manga I ever read. And then Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, and a couple of Junji Ito. And then down here we have like magical realism, historical fiction, just a whole bunch of like different types of fiction. This is a signed copy of this book, Wish You Well. I like this book. The last lecture, it's about, someone asked professors what would be if you could only give one more lecture before you pass away, what would it be? And it's about those lectures that those professors would give. Oh, I love this book. This is another book that is a 6-star for me, The Secret History. I love that book so much. And the title of this, it's about, I think it's like a coming of age story in the 90s, but the title, and there's a cat. This next shelf is nonfiction, classics, like historical fiction, like my Penguin classics, other random classics like The Great Gatsby, a really at-risk book. And then the next shelf we just have my dystopian books like The Handmaid's Tale, Hunger Games, Divergent, World War Z, Fahrenheit 451, Parable the Sower, George Orwell. I have Animal Farm over there. It's like, and it's really tiny, so it just kind of fell in it's there, trust me. We'll do this shelf next. These are my old Twilight books from high school, Vampire Queen, just my vampire witchy books. These are Harry Potter books that I thrifted. My original hardbacks that I had when I was a kid, they got molded, unfortunately, so I've just been collecting first edition hardbacks that I find at Goodwill. They're like $5, so like, why not, you know? And this is just more like witchy books, creature feature romances. Down here we have my Zodiac Academy series. I love the Zodiac Academy books. If you like reality TV, you would love these. That's what they're like. It's a train wreck that you can't stop watching, but like a really fun train wreck. This shelf has sci-fi. So we have like Cozy Sci-Fi, my Foundation series, my Star Wars book. I'm finally able to display this again. Moonbound, I love this book. It's so underrated. I wish more people would read it. It's so good. And then beside of Moonbound, we have more sci-fi. And then the next shelf we have the Expanse series and his new series, The Captives War, the first book that's come out. And then these are some of my journals. Down here is just more sci-fi. This is the first edition Jurassic Park that I was able to find at the Goodwill. So, and 3 Body Problem. We have my Pachi Mari. And then Ready Player One. This book left off on such a cliffhanger, The Knife of Never Letting Go. I still needed to read these two, but God, this was so good. This starts my young adult romance, and then we have more young adult romance right here. My Sailor Moon figurine. On this shelf, this is like historical romance and just special edition romance. So we have the Bridgerton, Lessons in Chemistry. Behind the Taylor Swift is just my Throne of Glass that I read from. I'm on Assassin Blades right now. I started with Throne of Glass and we're here. The last shelf here, we just have more romance. So we have Ashley Paulson, my absolute favorite romance author, Allie Hazelwood, all my Allie Hazelwood, Abby Jimenez, the Dream Harbor series. I kept my Emily Henry books for now because I do want to give her another chance. She's such a fantastic writer, but gosh, I really want to like her books because she's such a good writer, but just there's her couples for some reason. And then more random romance right here. This is the last shelf. I am so happy with this one. This is all of my fantasy books and my horror and Stephen King books. So starting at the tippy top here, I have Divine Revels. That's a signed edition. I'm so happy I have that. I got it on sale at Barnes & Noble. Belladonna, the Belladonna series, The Rose Bargain. I love that book. And then just more young adult fantasy. Where the Dark Stands Still. That's another book I don't see a lot of people talk about, and it's so good. And then we have like Under the Oak Tree, some cozy fantasy, my Emily Wilde series. I love these books so much. They're so good. Assistant to the Villain. I'm excited for the next one that's coming out. This one, Mayday Flowers. The person who wrote this book, Fairy Sammy, that's the person who rigged my 2D model. They wrote a book. They wrote a book. That's so freaking cool. And it's really good too. I read it in like a day. It was so good and so bingeable. The romance is so cozy and then just some more cozy fantasy books here. My TJ Klune books. I need to read these. I haven't read them yet, but I'm really excited to. I've heard a lot of good things about them. And then here we just have some special edition books. So these are my One Dark Window special editions, The Courting of Bristol Keith, Water Moon's Owlcrate special edition. Hold on, you guys need to see the cover of some of these Owlcrate books. They're so pretty. This one is The Courting of Bristol Keith. This is the special edition from Owlcrate. And then this one is the special edition of Water Moon from Owlcrate. And then this is another Owlcrate special edition I have. This is The Teller of Small Fortunes. Something I really love about this one is that the top has like this cat. So here we have the secret projects, and then I have the special editions of Yumi the Nightmare Painter and all the other secret projects. I love these. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter and Trust of the Emerald Sea were books that I first read when I first got back into reading last year, and these were a couple of the first books that I read, so I had to get the special editions because to me, I love them, and so they're very special to me. So I decided to go ahead and get these because these editions are so gorgeous, like the art inside of them and the covers. The Frugal Wizard's Guide. I love this book. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. It was kind of cringe, but I'm okay with that. I liked it. And then these are my Susanna Clark books. I love Pure Nessie. I haven't read this one yet. And then this is my little R.F. Kuang section. So we have like Yellowface, Babel, Poppy War, and then a special edition of Poppy War. This is a horridly
underhyped book, The Doll Makers. I love this book so much. More people need to read it. The world building is so good. I want to make a video talking about all these underhyped books that I have. So, and this is one book that's definitely going to be in that video. So. And then, of course, just like more Brandon Sanderson books back here, the Stormlight Archives, the Arcanum Unbounded, Elantris, Mistborn is back here as well. I'm slowly collecting all of his books. So Brandon Sanderson is my favorite author. So then down here we have, these are my trade paperbacks of The Wheel of Time, and then we have The Will of the Many. I'm so angry that they're not keeping up with the style of cover for The Will of the Many series because it's so good. The new cover's just like generic sci-fi cover. This is my Stephen King shelf. I love the stand, Under the Dome, It, On Writing. And then the next shelf, these are my Arthurian fantasy books, just more random fantasy here. I love Max Schaefer. I love The Lost Story. I still need to read The Witching Game, but The Lost Story was so good. And also Blood Over Brighthaven, another really good book. Wait, it's reflective. Oh, and then here, these are all my horror books. We have like House of Leaves, Slewfoot. I Was a Teenage Slasher. That was a really good book. All Hallows. I like all of these. And then over here, these are my paperback horror. All right, and down here we have Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm collecting the hardbacks of these slowly as they come out. So the first three are out right now, so that's what I have. And then I have Dragon books, my little Fourth Wing collection. And then we have The Sky on Fire, Impossible Creatures, The Language of Dragons, Dawn of Onyx, and Dragonfall. And then my little Robin Hood. I'm gonna get through this series, but I'm not gonna buy it all at once. I'm being good and not buying it all at once. So I just bought the first three to see if I'd like it. But so far, I've read the first one. I really liked it. So, and then we have Foundry Side, Discovery of Witches. The first book at Outlander. Deborah Harkness, I love her books so much, so I wanted to keep her on this shelf, plus these wouldn't fit on my witchy shelf, my paranormal romance shelf, so I just kept them here. Same for Empire of the Vampire. I couldn't fit this on the other shelf, so these just stay here because it made the most sense just to keep them here. Lightlark Special Edition. And then down here, this is just literally just a whole bunch of random fantasy, romantasy, just a whole bunch of different ones. And we have Caraval, Throne of the Fallen. Yeah, just a whole bunch of random fantasy. But yeah, those are my shelves. I'm really happy with them. No one asked for this, but I wanted to do it anyway. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!